the Comparadun sits low in the water. But the key with the Comparadun is its wings. So we'll come right up here forward. And I have a tendency when I'm working with deer hair that as I tighten it down, for some reason the wings slide back a little bit. So I'm going to start about 2 widths of an eyelet back. And I'm going to use my hair packer. And I'm going to use this it's really fine deer hair. And you got to have fine deer hair. And usually the shorter the deer hair, the sooner in the season. And as the season goes on, the hair gets longer and coarser. Great for stacking. Terrible for stacking. Terrible for Comparadun wings. So I'm using some real fine stuff. It's only not very long, I can tell you that. A little more than a ½ inch long. So I'm going to grab a stack. Make sure you get some good straight hair. You don't want to pull off of the side. Whenever you're working with deer hair or any material, you should always try to cut it as close to the base as possible. I start out with more than what I'm going to need. It's a lot harder to add to it once you started. You can always pull a little bit away if you have too much. Hold it by the tips. Get rid of the underfur. Everybody knows about deer hair and underfur, right? Terrible stuff. Put the tips pointed down. Now you want the tips pointed forward when you originally tie these in. So if you're right-handed, it's okay to take your stacker and pull it out this way, but before you pull the tips out, transfer them so that the tips are pointed in that direction. That way it'll be much easier to work with, because every time you transfer deer hair from one hand to another, you miss a line and things just start going awry. Might be a bit much, but we'll give it a try. So I'm going to measure equal to length of the shank. Turn back. I'm doing a pinch loop. I'm going to the far side, and I'm going to pull up. Pinch, pull up, then pull down. What that does is it keeps all the fibers up on top. When you pull up, it comes straight down. There's no torquing to the other side. It might be a little long. We'll see. Really set it in there tight. Now, those are overlapping wraps. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do 8 wraps back. And I'm going to let that set for just a second. I really want to compress that hair, and then I'll take 4 wraps off. And I don't know if you can see it on my hair, but I certainly can. You see, I started way up here. You see how far back that got. That's not a good thing. It'll be a thorax fly. Don't know why it is, but only with deer hair. Pull up. 8 wraps. Now, if it does torque around while you're still holding with your left hand, you can grab those tips and you can upright them. Just pull straight up on them. Now go right back up on top. Take a few wraps off. Don't let go of those butts. The tip of the hook out of my finger. You want to cut this at a 45-degree angle. Because Because if you let go of the butt, you just have a heck of a mess on your hand. Right? Not let that stuff torque around. And wrap back. And if you have any holidays like I have, just come in here and trim those down. But it'll give us an opportunity to see the bottom side of the, provided I don't cut this. If you look at the bottom, there's absolutely no hair on the bottom. And that's from doing that pinch move. Instead of pulling down like we normally would, pull up. Normally I'm not quite this sloppy. I don't know. You ever sit down at the vise? Hey, you tie that fly and you just know today's not going to be your day. You know, it's like you break your thread or you stick yourself with a hook. I think it's one of those days.